All right, today we're going to talk about something huge, a problem that's kind of hidden away inside even the most innovative companies. And we're going to explore a new way of thinking, a framework called material intelligence that's designed to fix it for good.
So here's a question for you. Why are the smartest people in R&D, these brilliant scientists and engineers, so often stuck reinventing the wheel? I mean, it's a total paradox, right? They're spending all this time chasing down information they know exists somewhere in the company. This isn't a new problem, not by a long shot, but really digging into why it keeps happening? Well, that's the key to finally solving it.
And you know exactly what this looks like in the real world. Projects just take forever. That one crucial piece of data from an experiment, yeah, it's buried in some forgotten folder or even worse, in someone's inbox who left the company 2 years ago. So what happens? Decisions get made based on gut feel, because honestly, it's faster to just run a whole new test than to find the old data. And come on, we've all seen that file, right? Final report _ version 17B _ use this one. It's funny, but it's also a symptom of a really deep problem. And here's the thing that's so important to get. This is not about people not working hard enough. The teams are putting in the hours. The problem is systemic. It's like everyone is meticulously building their own little piece of a giant puzzle, but nobody can see the box with the final picture on it. And that fragmentation, that's what's really holding R&D back.
So this gets us to the most crucial point. You can't just try to make a broken process a little bit faster. That's never going to solve the real issue. The big shift in thinking here is that the problem isn't your process, it's your perspective. We have to stop looking at R&D as just a sequence of separate, disconnected steps and start seeing it for what it should be: one single, interconnected, and intelligent system.
Okay, so that brings us right to the main idea for today, material intelligence. This is the framework that's built to give us that exact system-level view we've been missing all along.
So what is it really? Well, to put it simply, material intelligence is a whole new way of organizing R&D so that everything is linked. Think of it less like a digital filing cabinet and more like a neural network for your lab. It's not just about storing the data, it's about understanding the invisible threads connecting your formulations, your raw materials, your test methods, and of course, your results. All of it in one place.
And this whole approach really stands on three main pillars. First up, you've got the data. We're talking everything: what your materials are made of, how you process them, and all the measurements you take. Second, you have the workflows. This is the how you manage projects, your resources, all the day-to-day lab activities. And the third pillar, the real powerhouse, is AI. This is what plugs into all that connected data and starts finding the patterns, making the predictions, and really unlocking the value.
All right, let's talk principles. The first one is huge: structure by design. What this means is that the system is built from the ground up to be organized. You're not trying to clean up a messy house after the party's over. You're designing a house where things just naturally stay in their place. It's about preventing the chaos from ever starting. Every single piece of information has a home. Now, that structure leads us to the second principle, and this one is a total game changer: insights instead of search. So instead of you having to become a digital detective, digging through endless folders and spreadsheets trying to find a connection, the system does the work for you. It brings the important patterns and relationships right to the surface. It's not just data anymore. It becomes intelligence you can actually use to make decisions.
And the third principle, well, it ties the whole thing together: connecting all elements. Basically, in a system like this, no piece of data is an island. A specific formulation is automatically connected to its raw materials, every test that was ever run on it, and even the notes and comments from the team that worked on it. You get this perfect, unbroken chain of evidence: total transparency, total traceability.
Okay, so that's the theory, right? Sounds good. But what does this actually look like in practice? Let's walk through a really common R&D scenario and see how this all comes together to create a smarter, way more efficient workflow.
Okay, so let's say you're tasked with developing a new formulation. Step 1, you kick off the project and you plug in your target properties. Right away, the platform scans everything it knows and suggests a few previous formulations that could be great starting points. Then, as you start running your experiments, the data from your lab instruments, it gets automatically linked to the right samples. No more copy-pasting from spreadsheets. Next, an AI assistant chimes in and highlights a pattern you might have missed, like how a tiny change in mixing speed is having a huge effect on viscosity. So for your next iteration, you're not guessing. You're using these rock-solid, data-driven insights. And the best part? Every single one of those steps is captured, connected, and traceable.
So what's the actual payoff here? What's the bottom line for working this way? Well, the benefits are way, way bigger than just having neater files. We're talking about a fundamental transformation in how effective your entire R&D operation can be.
And this chart just lays it out perfectly. The before and after. You go from endlessly rerunning experiments you've probably done before to actively building on a solid foundation of existing knowledge. Corporate memory stops dying in people's inboxes and becomes a living, accessible database. Gut feel decisions are replaced by choices that are transparent and backed by data. And those siloed teams, they start working together, all looking at the exact same information.
And this isn't just theory. There are hard numbers to back it up. We're seeing organizations that adopt this way of thinking report efficiency gains of up to 30%. Think about that. That's a massive amount of time and resources that are no longer wasted, freeing up your brilliant people to focus on actual innovation, not just data wrangling. But look, the real power here, the long-term vision for material intelligence, it isn't just about making things more efficient today. It's about building the foundation for the next massive leap in R&D. And that future is all about predictive AI.
Think about it like this. Right now, for most of us, AI is like a helpful research assistant. It's great at finding documents and telling you what happened in your past experiments, but when you feed it the clean, structured, interconnected data that comes from a material intelligence system, that AI evolves. It goes from being an assistant to being a true co-pilot. It starts predicting what will happen. It can suggest entirely new formulations. It starts answering that all-important question, what if? And that has the potential to slash the number of physical experiments you need to run. So as we start to wrap this up, I want to leave you with one really critical question to think about for your own team. Think about your most experienced experts, the ones with decades of knowledge. When they eventually retire or move on, does all that incredible knowledge just walk out the door with them? Or have you captured it in a system where the next generation can stand on their shoulders instead of starting all over again from the ground floor?
Because ultimately, material intelligence isn't just about buying a new piece of software. It's about a fundamental shift in mindset. It's about having the courage to finally build a real structure to manage all your complexity. And you know, every single day you delay that decision, you're losing ground. The best time to start thinking this way was probably yesterday, but the next best time, it's right now.